Hi, good morning. It is April 24th, Friday, TGIF, right? Normally, we would all be excited to be going out to bars and restaurants and have busy plans for the weekend, but in isolation, we do not. Some of us are lucky enough that we can get out and do some hiking, see some nature, and maybe do some gardening in our backyard, but there are also a lot of us that are not able to get out of the house. Hopefully you'll have a Wii or something along those lines that you can entertain yourself. But all of us, even if you've been working and you managed to get some days off over the weekend, or whether you've been at home and you barely even register that it is a Friday, the same message goes. Take time to self-reflect. Go within. Right? Very important to go within. We often are so busy running around, going and having our exciting weekends so that we can record them and put them up on our social medias and have something to talk about on Monday morning. Well, stop. Don't do that. Go within, right? Self-reflect. That is today's message. Self-reflect. Yeah, I hear you. This has been going on for a long time, isn't it? It's getting a little tiresome. One of the words that came back to me this morning when I got up is David Wolf. David Wolf always says, today is the best day ever. And he says it with such excitement. Oh, I just love it. He's so excited. And what a great concept, because what we tell ourselves the world is exactly the experience we get from the world. Interesting. This is kind of an old concept we've talked about for a long time, that what we tell ourselves is what we get. And it tends to be kind of frustrating because, hey, it's the best day ever. And then 20 minutes later, the kid is yelling at us. The car is not working. The flat tire has happened, or the computer has crashed, whatever it be. Something tends to go, whew, right? And that best day ever is hard to maintain. There is a transition period as our life changes. And the kind of a general rule of thumb in the spirituality healing modalities is at 21 days. It takes 21 days for a new behavior pattern to emerge and become comfortable. It takes 21 days to break a habit, to change an addiction. So it's the 21-day factor. So as we are looking at going back into the world, because there's a lot of talk about opening up the economy. A lot of people are very fearful of that. A lot of people are very excited for it. Nobody really knows how it's going to look and what's going to change and what's not going to change. There's still, some of us will be back at work, some of us won't. It's such a chaotic thing, right? You're going to have to just go with what's right for you and what is being advised in your area. And do that self-reflection. And I totally lost my train of thought. Best day ever. That's what it was. See, Friday. This has been a hard Friday. And it's only the morning. See, my word. See, we tell ourselves it's going to be a hard day. It's not going to be a hard day. I just need more coffee, right? I think today might be a short message. Yeah. So be aware of what we tell ourselves. Watch what our words are that come out. What are we telling ourselves? Is this really hard, or is this just a moment, a shift, right? Are we drifting? Are we flowing? Are we taking advantage of the opportunities that are coming? Are we just taking things in stride? Is that flat tire on the car really a devastation? Or do we just take it in stride and go, oh, well, deal with it. It's just something we have to deal with. And maybe register in the back of our mind, maybe the reason we had the flat tire prevents us from being in the car accident on the freeway or in the line of fire at work, right? Something big goes, say, hey, ever walk into work and all of a sudden something big, you missed the whole thing, right? You're the guy that walks in at the end and everybody's like, Dave, were you here? Did you see that? And you're like, see what? Maybe it was a good thing that you missed it. Maybe the flat tire was a blessing, right? We don't recognize it in the moment, but in the bigger picture, maybe it was. And if we have an approach of that in our life, slowly we start to raise our vibration in a positive way, in a positive thinking manner. People who see see challenges, life challenges, as hiccups in their life, generally are, and only moments, brief moments in time. They're interesting. It's funny. You can have two people go through the exact same experience, and exactly everything turns out exactly the same way for both people. And one person will be like, that was so horrible. I can't believe that went on. It took forever. It felt like forever. Life is never going to be the same again. And then other person goes, oh, glad that's done. On we go. And they're back to being happy and active, right? It's a mindset. We all have challenges. We all have things that we have to deal with on a regular basis, but it's our mindset that, tells us whether it's going to be a struggle that's going to draw out and put us in a negative mood and lower our energies, or if we're going to have a much uplifting point of view and just deal with whatever it is and carry on and find the next joy, right? And that starts, I think, with sleeping in on a Saturday. Anyhow, it starts with the way we think and rephrasing how we say things, even to ourselves, right? It's a personal conversation. Life is a conversation with ourselves. It really is. Everything we get back from life is exactly what we've put out into life. And that can be a very difficult thing to look at, especially if we're not happy in our lives, right? It can be it's very challenging. Here's a philosophy that people talk about, is what you put out is what you get back. That's a fact. It's just the way it is, right? That's what karma is all about. It's the universe giving back whatever we're putting out. It's really, really hard to apply that throughout all aspects of life. First of all, when we apply it to ourselves, we look in a mirror, right? Now, there are different forms of mirrors of what the mirror is telling us. Sometimes it is a direct reflection, I'm a jerk, I get a jerk back, right? No. Sometimes that's it, but sometimes it's revealing a fear. It's revealing where we're holding ourselves back. We're not stepping into our power, or we're taking action that's not in line with it. So that is not in line with who we are. It might not be bad action, but it's not in line with who we are. So this happens a lot to people who are doing good work in the world, right? They're putting their heart and soul and everything into doing lots of good work, but their home lives, they have very big struggles in their home lives, and they have financial struggles and all these type of things, right? That's because there's an out of alignment with who they actually are, and that they may be putting, it's a sign to them to look, are they putting all of their efforts here and lacking something here? Because we are meant to be an expression in all areas of our life, in every moment of our life. And so when we go into present moment, we can look at what that reflection actually is. So things that we're doing, there's another thing, things that we're doing in one area of our life highly affects another area of our life. So I did a reading one time, an Akashic Record reading, for this gentleman who was planning a huge event. This was a big deal. He'd been working on it for months and everything, and he was contacting me, and he had only gotten, I think it was about maybe 1/3 of the sales for the event, and we're talking like this was a week before, and he's contacting me, what can I do? And it was really a hard reading to give, because what I was being told and everything was telling me to tell him is, go home and spend time with your spouse. Get your home in order. Get your home in order. Get your relationship in order. Spend some time there. And bless this man, because that's exactly what he did. He stepped back, and we had a big conversation about this, because, 1 week to his event, and he's 1/3 of the tickets sold. And so we had a big event, and he let it all go. He says, okay, it's out there. I need to step back. So he followed the advice, and he stepped back, and he put time into his relationship, and he got his home life in order. And he says, I had a fantastic week. And when he checked in, he couldn't believe it. As the week went on, the tickets started selling. It was a sold out event. He sold out his event. And the expectations of the event for the numbers, he made 3 times the sales that were expected for the numbers that showed up. Increases from doing nothing. He followed the advice and he got his home life in order. He put his soul in order and it cleared it all. And the universe just delivered. They delivered that harmony to him. It was beautiful. It was absolutely amazing. So when we put ourselves into alignment with our thinking is in alignment, our actions are in alignment in all the areas, because we are holistic beings, we have all these different life areas, it clears the other life areas. So when we're looking at reflection, when we're doing self-reflection, take a look not just at, what I put into work, I get back from work. What you put into work, you might be getting back from home. What you put into home, you might be getting back from your hobby, right? What you put into yourself may not be showing up physically in yourself, but it may be showing up in your romantic relationship or your job. Like, it's all intertwined, and we need to be holistic beings, aligning our energy and our soul selves in all areas of our life. It's the complete expression, right? I hope I was clear on that. It kind of took me a while to kind of cruise into that. Anyhow, it is quite a Friday. I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to go and do some homeschooling with my kid. Isn't that fun? Math. Not my strong point. Anyhow, you have a great weekend. Remember to self-reflect. Remember to embrace the joy of life, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook, check out my website, all the good stuff. Love you all. Have a great weekend.